Hey guys, it's Chloe, and today we're going to have a solo episode because Zoe's life got really chaotic by the end of this week, so she hasn't been able to record her part for our original topic, and that's okay. So I'm going to step in, and I'm not going to go into too much detail over why this is, but I'm sure she'll want to share all about it in future episodes because I'm now back in town for a little bit before summer courses start up again for me, and so you know what that means for future episodes of Swear We Aren't Lying. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna talk a little bit about visiting family once you're moved out and how the vibes can be a little different. Like things have shifted around for sure, but there's still some things that haven't changed, and that's what makes the dynamic still so special. So I hope you guys enjoy this little filler episode and the latest update on my life. So this week's original topic would have been on pet peeves, and it was my idea, so I was kind of excited about it. But I can't really blame life for just being life, and you know, I think we'll just save that episode for backup when I'm not in town anymore and we need something. So that'll be something quick and easy for Zoe to then record when it's that time. So yeah, but I am back in town, and I'm so sorry if I'm a little wheezy. I've been wheezy ever since I've gotten back up in these mountains. And it's just sad because, like, every time I do come back into town, this is how it is now. Like, my body is just so acclimated to the city I'm living in now that my lungs, they just entirely give up whenever I'm in any type of higher elevation. And growing up, I used to be so miserable. Like, I was always fatigued, and my sinuses were just super, super sensitive. So anything could just set them off. Like, just a bit of pollen in the air, and my face would just flare up. And that would be it for me. I would be like, my day would be shot. So it's nice knowing that, like, a change in elevation is all I really needed to just get my energy back up, build that up, and I don't know, feel good about myself. Like my lungs could actually properly function. Who would have thought? But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to train my body again whenever I'm up here, not to have an asthma attack every 2 hours, because I don't need to be sucking on my inhaler like I used to when I was a child. And it's a nasty feeling. I just like my allergies are so bad right now, so I'm sure my tone is a little off right now because I'm so stuffy. But yeah, I I'd rather deal with it to see family again than not see them at all just because I can't breathe. Which is like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, this is how it is now because I haven't been up here in so long, but you know, sacrifices. And right now I'm actually trying to get my prescription on like inhaler refills and stuff, but it's not going so great. Like, they've denied me twice from getting my prescription refills, and I think it's because they have my mom's information. Like, okay, I went in for labs the other day, and I got my blood drawn, I got my urine test done, all that jazz, right? But I look at the lab order and I noticed that they have all of my mom's information on there instead of what I filled out, which is so weird because, like, she's never gone to this doctor before. So it's definitely something with my insurance, and I have to take care of that because I'm so sick of getting denied every time I walk in. But at least I stop by and get a Starbucks real quick. So I guess I'm rewarded every time that happens in some way. No, but besides that BS, I actually would have been up here sooner, probably like a weekend sooner, if I didn't have other things happening, like open mic nights. I started going to those, and that honestly took me off guard because the cafe that I usually go to in the mornings, they started having open mic nights again because, like, COVID isn't really that serious anymore, and places are starting to open up, And so this is like their first time kind of just getting back into the swing of things since COVID has happened for them. Like they no longer wear masks or anything like that now, and there's like no longer um like social distancing. So that's nice. And so they decided for their like 14th anniversary as a cafe that they were going to do an open night, a mic night to celebrate. So of course I go because I got invited, and I'm just chilling. I'm drinking my mocktail and whatever. And this happened back in April. So I sit there and I'm just listening to like all these musicians that like come out, local artists that just decide to share like what they got, poetry even. And so when one girl goes up and she shares her poetry, I'm like, oh shoot, like I got some pieces. That's really neat. Like that's cool to know for next time because I didn't think that you could still like sign up in that moment. But I get really curious after like hearing her piece. And so I asked one of the baristas, like, hey, so since this is like a local event, like, is there anywhere to sign up still? And they're like, oh, dude, totally go for it. So they gave me the clipboard and I wrote down my name, and then I just started scrolling through my TikTok of all the things that I already have uploaded. Um, like some type of piece that would be appropriate to share. And I don't I say appropriate to share as I pick I hope your mom is weird as hell. But yeah, if you go on my TikTok, that is the one I decided to share. And I was so nervous. Like it was already cold outside, but I was not shaking because it was windy or cold. I was shaking because I was so nervous. Like this was entirely new for me because like usually I'm the girl that's known for being like backstage and like production stuff. So I'm not really in the spotlight, but all eyes were on me. So that was like totally different. But as soon as I got up there, I swear like all my nerves just melted away. I said a quick prayer and that prayer activated like that. So I got up there and I felt like it was natural for me. So that was crazy. And it happened to go by so quick. I wanted that moment to last a little longer. And people applauded me. They followed my social media pages, and I even got a photo. So that's cool. I shared that on my personal Instagram account. But yeah, so since I wanted more of that, their next open mic night event, they invited me again. And not only did they invite me last weekend when they held this again, but they asked me to be the opener. So I decided to share two pieces. One was old. It was Moving On From Hell. And then another one that was new that I wrote that morning called People Watching. So I hope to share that on my TikTok sometime, but yeah, that's that's kind of why I didn't come out last weekend and I decided to come out this weekend. And yeah, gosh, work is slowing down now. I just had a kind of last hurrah dinner date with some of my coworkers who are no longer going to be working with us because they graduated. And once you graduate, you can no longer be a student worker, of course, kind of makes sense. But yeah, that was super fun. So I also had that going on for me. I would have been on sooner if it wasn't for that, but that was really necessary. And I'm so glad that we got to do that. And oh, I passed Spanish. It seems like I did, at least. For my entrevista, I got an 83%. So that's really nice. He told me to keep working on my grammar, but overall I did good. And then I just got the grade back for my final exam, and that was an 82%. And I think it's only because of the extra credit work I turned in. So thank God, or else it would have been like a 67, I think, from the comment that he made on Canvas. So yeah, it looks like I am passing with a B, and that's great. I wanted that. Like, of course, I wanted to shoot for an A, but I knew that I was going to land with a B, if anything. So I'm happy with that. I'm satisfied, and now I can move on from foreign language and just focus on math and bio. Oh gosh, please, Lord help me. That will be my those will be my 2 summer courses, and not only that, but there's a one act festival that's happening at my college, and I haven't even shared this on my Let Pharaoh Know Productions page, but one of my works that I submitted got accepted, and so now I should be co-directing all the summer. And so auditions will be next weekend. I get to pick out my cast, and yeah, rehearsals will take place sometime during the weekday, like every other evening, I'm pretty sure it is, question mark. But yeah, I'm completely excited for that. And before that all starts up, I just want to chill here, enjoy my time with family. I just want to soak it in as much as I possibly can because I know I only have the summer. I get my class schedule at Biola in the next 2 months. So it's becoming very real. It's becoming super real, and so I'm just going to try to come up here as much as I possibly can still. Um Especially with the podcast in mind so we can record as many episodes before I don't know what happens. Yeah, so besides all that, I've just been in town for a couple days now, and since, I've been dying, thank you allergies, I decided to just deep clean our house today. So I kind of went on a rampage. I pulled a little Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle, and I decided to just sweep, mop the whole shebang. I even cleaned the bathroom and the very, very dirty toilet seat. So that was fun. No, actually, like I said in a past episode, I love cleaning. I find it very therapeutic. So that's just kind of what I set out to do today. And I was hoping that, maybe airing out the house and having the floors cleaned up from dog hair because we now have 2 new puppies. And that in itself is wild because I know that if my mom was still alive, we would not have them. I don't even know if my dad would have brought them home, to be honest, because like he found them abandoned on his way home from work, and they were tiny. They were so little. They were like barely past 2 months when he found them, and they almost got ran over by this big old rig. So he put them in his car and he took them home, and we were just gonna get them checked out at the vet and see who would want them. But then, of course, him and my brother both fell in love with them. So they're now ours, and their names are Points and Flops because one has pointy ears and the other has floppy ears. So very original. But everyone seems to adore their names, and they're just great dogs. They're little Doberman Pinscher Chihuahua mix mutts. So yeah, uh, very adorable, and they're really fun to have around. But they kind of make it hard for me to breathe. I think they're like the major reason why I have an asthma attack like every 2 hours. And also my sister's dog, who's like a medium-sized husky. So she definitely sheds the most out of every dog here. And it's kind of funny because like this place has turned into a doggy daycare since I've left. She drops off her husky here almost every day while she goes to work and while her husband is also at work because they just got a new house, and that's crazy. Like I'm still getting used to the fact that like they no longer live in an apartment, and I didn't get to say goodbye to that apartment, so I pout. But they got a really nice house, and they only live like 5 minutes away from us now, or well, from my dad and brother. And it seems to be a super nice yard, but the thing is like they don't have a fence up for their husky yet, so they're trying to install that right now. It just got approved, and that will go great. I just imagine we're going to have many barbecues and bonfires at their place because my sister is all about that. She loves hosting and having people over, and she's always dreamed about having her own place where she could do that with friends and family. So she's finally living out that dream. And I'm really happy for her. But there's also a part of me that's like really sad because I know that there's going to be continual change happening like that where I won't be as involved because I'm on to doing my own thing and I'm having things happen for me. So it's very different. It's very different whenever I come up to visit and I realize like, oh wow, this is new. Um, like all the doggy doors that are now in our house, and my dad and brother, they decide to make waffle sandwiches every night for dessert. That's also new. And there's just like silly, goofy little things that happen around here, and it's just so different from what I grew up with. And I know it's even more different now that my mom's gone, but I know that like even if she were still around, things would just be different because I no longer live there and life continues on, you know? So, yeah, I wonder how it's going to be once I'm officially moved in at Biola and I can only come out occasionally, like for holidays and stuff like that. So, but it's nice to just come up here and visit family, spend time with them, see Zoe again. Like seeing Zoe is just such a breath of fresh air amidst all the change, cuz it's like of course there's stuff that's like different in her life with like work updates and like the drama that she may be involved with or whatever. But getting to sit down with her over like sushi or just like parking or in the parking lot of Albertsons while we have like 40 chicken nuggets all to ourselves. Like that's just still the same, and I'm excited to have that at least still be the same. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just like the little kid in me that gets like homesick or isn't used to like change of routine that just comes out a little bit and wants to ball. But yeah, I know that like this is just inevitable, and it's a change that I've prayed for so long. So I can't like be too sad about it. But at the same time, of course, it still affects me that I'm not around as much anymore to see this type of stuff happen. It's weird because like I've always prayed to get out of this town, and I know that I like never want to come back here. I want to have a life that's established far away from here. But at the same time, it comes with like the price of like missing out on serpent on certain like family events and dates that are just like super important that you would want to be there for. And that's the hardest part about like accepting it all. But I don't know, I've been talking to my brother, and I didn't even plant this in his mind at all, but he said like, well, I don't know, if college doesn't really work out for me, maybe I'll find a job down there and we can just have an apartment together. And I'm like, okay, bet. Because honestly, I think my brother makes for like the best roommate ever. I shared a room with him like most of my life, so I wouldn't really mind that. And I think that would be like really cool because out of everyone, I know I'm going to miss my little brother the most because like he's just been my sidekick throughout life. So I don't like the idea of not seeing him for months on end when it's already hard enough not seeing him for like weeks. But yeah, I don't know. I That's just also a part of growing up. But we'll see from a year from now if we can actually make that happen. I know right now it's just something that something fun that we're just talking about, and then we also included my cousin, who's my current roommate, and Zoe, because I think that those would be like the three best people I could live with. So we started looking at apartments just for fun and like just sort of daydreaming about a future where next year could happen and we all do live together and we kind of have like a I don't know, like a friend sitcom sort of life. And I copied like the link to these apartments and these houses for rent down in La Mirada just to like kind of save it and keep it in mind. Later on, I go and I have dinner with my coworkers, and we're all arguing about this one song, right? Like I get in an argument with one of my coworkers' boyfriends, and he's saying that this song is total trash. And I'm arguing, no, it's really good. It's super good. So I try to share it to our coworker group chat. Next thing you know, he's checking his phone. He gets the link to all the apartments and stuff, and he's like, "What, are we trying to live together now?" And then all of a sudden, my coworkers just start looking at these places, and they're like, "Oh, the rent's actually not that bad." So that was really funny, and I just had to share that real quick. But no, I feel like it's necessary to share this and like what I'm going through right now and how I'm feeling about it, how I'm coping with it. Just because I know like it's gonna be hard for a few months when I do officially make that big move, and the homesickness is going to be real. It's it's gonna probably hit me like a ton of bricks. So, and who knows? I we might have a future podcast episode on that. Who knows? But anyone else out there that's just listening right now and possibly going through the same thing, who might be also moving soon to a uni, transferring, and just starting out their life, the life that they've always wanted, but they know it comes with a cost too. You're not alone in that. And yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just what your 20s is all about. So we'll see how things go. I can't really complain. I have more blessings stacked up than I do anything else. And I'm really grateful to see how my prayers are finally playing out. And I've always wanted to grow up. I've always wanted to be an adult and be independent and do all this stuff. So it's really neat seeing that finally happen. But yeah, I leave you guys with that. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Tell me what's up with your life. We'd love to know. And we just always appreciate any type of feedback that you guys give us. So peace out, y'all.